I had seen photos of DreeFee in the guidebook and it just looked spectacular. Not too many people knew about it, and it just kind of looked like a style of climbing I enjoyed. Whoa! It's a very insecure style of climbing. There's not many holds and you just have to work with different angles. I called Ben up about a week ago and asked if he wanted to come check out DreeFee with me. Ben hadn't really done any like multi-pitch climbing or any trad climbing really. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, take. But you know, he's a super strong climber, and I knew this kind of climbing would maybe suit his style. Yeah, it was Ben's first multi-pitch route.
Come on, trust it. Trust it, Brad.
It's 10 pitch, 13D. Almost every pitch is 513. And it just, you know what, dude, I'm looking right at the lens the whole time. I don't want to be doing that. My name is Brad Gobright. I'm a Gramicci athlete. I'm currently living in Las Vegas, and I've been climbing a bunch in Red Rock Canyon just outside the city. And it's this amazing desert climbing area with all these huge sandstone walls everywhere. And probably the raddest wall of them all is the Rainbow Wall, which is located in the very back of Juniper Canyon. It's kind of this wild atmosphere up there. There's this climb that goes right up the center called DreeFee. Last year I was trying this route back in March, and I was at the base of the climb when I took a nasty slip down the slab, fell about 60 feet and broke my ankle really bad. I ended up having to crawl my way out of the canyon. It took about 5 hours. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done. So I'm back this year for redemption. Pitch 1 isn't really a big deal. It's just like a long 5-6 pitch just to kind of get you to the base of like the vertical climbing on the wall.
Do you want to do the first pitch or do you want me to?
I'll go with the first pitch. Pitch 2 is, it's a pretty long pitch and it's just a terrible warm up for the day. There's this sequence where you have to pull out of a roof onto some kind of nasty gear and do these insecure moves on a face, and the fall could be kind of nasty. And yeah, you kind of get flash pumped. Pitch 3 is probably the best pitch on the climb. It's also the longest pitch. It's mostly trad climbing. There's one bolt on it, but it's mostly very thin nut placements. And the climbing's extremely insecure the whole time. The rock is very smooth. There's not really much to grab onto. You don't get much to work with. You kind of just have to work with like the angles of the rock. But it is spectacular. It's stressful, but it's also very enjoyable, and it kind of prepares you for what's to come. One of the things that makes this route so difficult is that it's very sustained. Almost every pitch is 513. It's just on you from the very beginning. So it was pitch 4, I think, that Ben's confidence really started to kick in, and you know, he was like, hey man, I want to try to go for the lead, and so yeah, he took the sharp end on pitch 4. Yep, come on, I got you, stab at it. Yeah, lie back. Ben is a buddy of mine. He's kind of a younger kid. He does a lot of bouldering and sport climbing. He's extremely strong, but he had never been on a multi-pitch climb before or had even led any trad climbing. So I figure a 13D big wall climb would be a good start for him. Solid, good, awesome. The upper half of that climb is super run out, and it's protected by a really nasty little stopper. And you're just doing these like insecure lie back moves. And yeah, it was pretty impressive watching Ben get on that pitch for his first trad lead.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I think this was my first lead on trad, so that was really fun. It was definitely challenging. look at it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That might have been actually my favorite part of climbing. It's just like that extra scare factor.
Pitch 5 is rated 13B. It's definitely got, in my opinion, the hardest moves on the whole climb. It's this super blank, insecure corner. There's just almost nothing to work with. There's teeny little spots you could stick your fingers in, but the footholds are just blank. You're just smearing, and it's super powerful, and it feels impossible at first. You clip the last bolt, and then it's like a solid 20 feet of no protection on really difficult climbing until you can finally get a cam in. Pitch 6 is fully bolted, and it's kind of basically two boulder problems. The first half is like kind of lower angled and super smooth, and you're kind of lie-backing with sort of glassy footholds. And then you get to this somewhat of a rest. It's like you don't really get footholds, but you get a pretty good crimp to sort of shake out on. And then it's a really bouldery sequence up this corner. And there's one move right at the top that you really have to stab for, and it's just like a nothing hold.
Nice.
We both kind of had trouble with it, but we were both able to send it. Pitch 7 is supposed to be the crux of the route. It's also fully bolted. The holds are extremely small. It's on you the whole way. There's powerful sequences in the beginning, in the middle, in the end. And there's one move in particular where you have to get your feet up by your hands onto like some nothing footholds and do this big move to like just a razor edge side pull.
Brad.
And, that might be the hardest move on the whole route.
Cool.
It's good. Yeah, come on, stand on the left foot. Come on, yup, and then yup, solid, good work. After pitch 7, the climbing gets a lot easier, but a lot chossier. It doesn't really get harder than like 5'10", but it's run out in chaussy and kind of time consuming because you have to like spend time trying to figure out where the route goes.
That one was hard.
We actually ended up popping out in the dark, but we did it and we got to the top.
Yep.
Cool. Oh. Yeah. Hell yeah. Boom.
Killing it.
Killing it. Sweet.
Awesome. Let's get out of here.
All right.